Welcome back to Twilight Imperium 4th edition. We're going to be beginning round 5, and the Humans Federation of Soul, played by me in the blue here, are out in the lead with 8 victory points, followed by the Sardic at 5, and the plant species Arbrick at 4. And I left this card out here in the Nebula, Executive Sanctions. It's a law, because we can only ever have 3 action cards in hand at one time now instead of 7. Alright, let's begin by going over to our strategy cards, having our races choose. The Sardic are up first, the bug race that now has controlled Mechatol Rex, followed by Arbrick, and the Federation of Soul get third choice. And we're going to come right back. We're going to have our races having chosen which cards they want, strategy cards for this turn. And so the choices have been made. So we have the Sardic Noir have gotten leadership and technology. The Humans Federation of Soul got construction and trade, and the plant people Arbrick have warfare and imperial. All right, we're going to be starting with Sardic is going to go first, Federation of Soul second, Arbrick third. Let's start this round with the Sardic, of course, taking the first action. And the first action the Sardic are going to take is the leadership ability. And so, because they have no command tokens in their tactics section, so they're going to gain 3 command tokens, and they can spend influence. For every 3 influence, get another command token. And also the Federation of Soul, then as a secondary ability, can spend any amount of influence to get command tokens. So this is going to be a huge command token build-up, excuse me, for all races. All right, let's start with the Sardic. They get 3 free ones, and they can buy extra. So let's go ahead and see how many they're going to get. All right, and the Sardic are going to get 3 free ones, of course. They're going to use Mechatol Rex for 6 influence, giving them 2 more. They're going to end up getting 5 command tokens. All right, they're going to put 1 here. Oh, and that's flipped over in the wrong. I see that now. 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, 4 here, and 1 more in their fleet. Actually, no, they're going to put 2 in their fleet. So they're going to end up 2, 4, 6. They can have a fleet size of 7 ships. 7. They have 3 in their tactics now, 1 in strategy. All right. Up next, Arbrick, to see if they want any command tokens, to pay 3 influence for each one. And the Arbrick are going to get themselves 2 command tokens. They're going to put 1 in tactics and 1 in fleet, so they can have 5 ships. It looks like they are getting ready to try to pound the Earth into rubble. We'll see what happens. Of course, they have to pay for those with 6 influence. So they're going to use this planet, which has 3 influence, and Torcon, which has 3 influence. That's the Arbrick. Now, does the Federation of Soul want command tokens? More than likely. And yes, Federation of Soul is also going to get 2 command tokens. They're going to use Raron, which has a 3 influence, and Centauri, which has 3 influence. They're going to put 1 in their tactic and 1 in their fleet, so they can have at least 5 ships in a system. All right, well, that was the first action, Sardic Noir. Up next, going to be Federation of Soul to take an action. So I guess we're going to see what it is they're going to do. And the Federation of Soul will spend a tactical action. We need to beef up security. Basically, what we need to do is stop the bugs and the plants from taking any of our planets. If we can manage to do that, it's possible we can win the game. All right, let's go and activate a system and see what we're going to do. All right, we're going to activate this system right here on a beta wormhole, which is disturbing me because the beta wormhole is on the other side of the universe, too close, in fact, to the bug bladder beast of Trawl, the Sardic. So I don't like it. So I want to beef up security in this area. We already have 6 ground forces, 5 fighters. We have a capacity here of 4. So we're going to be able to build 4 units here. Let's go to the Federation of Soul, see what we're going to spend and what we're going to build. Okay, so what the Federation of Soul is going to build is 1, 2, 3, 4 fighters. They have Sarween tools, which means this would normally cost 2. It's only going to cost them 1. They're going to spend 1 trade good to pay for those 4 fighters. All right, let's put the 4 fighters in that system. Wow. All right, we're going to place the 4 fighters here. That is going to give the space fleet of fighters, we're going to bump it up to 10, 10 fighters in this system. Oh my good lord. We get 6 ground forces, 10 fighters, 2 dreadnoughts, 2 carriers, PDS. I think that system is pretty well secured now as I lose my voice, excuse me, from allergies. Damn it, it's springtime. All right, that's the action for Federation of Soul. Up next, Arbrick. All right, the Arbrick are going to spend a command token from Tactics, place it on the board, and let's see what they're going to do. All right, the Arbrick are going to activate this system here, and they have Sarween tools, and so they're going to use their 1 production Sarween tools. They're going to take 1 of these ground forces, which for spending 1 production then, which will be the Sarween tools, we'll just do that as a wash, is going to put on 2 more ground forces, and that doesn't have anything to do with the limit of the production capacity of this planet, 3, because the space dock is not a ground force. Their ground forces, the Arbrick, have this ability to actually grow themselves. So for 1 Sarween tools, I'm just going to do it right now so I don't forget. This is going to be pumping their ground forces up here to 5. They now can move ships into this system. They are not going to. And they are going to now build here. So let's go to their play area and see what they're going to build. So they spent the Sarween tools making ground forces. Let's see what else they want to do. And yes, you're seeing correctly. That is a War Sun. Oh my god. These things are brutal. I love the miniature for these. War Sun and 4 fighters. Well, what is that going to cost them? Well, War Suns cost 12, and the 2 fighters are going to cost another 2. They have to spend 14 resources. Now, let's not forget they already used the 1 production Sarween tools to get those extra ground forces. How are they going to spend 12 here? Well, they do have our 14 production. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13, 14. They have just spent 14 production to place a War Sun and 4 fighters on that system. And that system does have a capacity for the space dock of 5 units. Wow, let's get that on the board. And the Federation of Soul should be afraid. Very afraid. All right, so the War Sun has been built here. Oh my good lord. Plus 4 extra fighters. So now instead of having 3 fighters there, the planet people have 7. They have 7 fighters. 4 ground forces, I believe. They got 3 more fighters. They got 10 fighters, a War Sun. Yeah, a lot of stuff. And they do have a capacity of 5 capital ships. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They haven't exceeded that. All right, that was the action for the Arbrick. And up next, going to be the Sardic again. And the battle chants from around the galaxy, from both plant and insect, are all chanting death to the humans. So they are going to take a tactical action. Right here, they're going to activate a system. I wonder which one it will be. Let's go back to the board and find out. All right, the Sardic are activating this system. Oh my god, it's going to be like a 20-minute battle of dice rolling, dice festorama. So I hope it's not going to bore you too much. They are attempting to crush this system. Now, the Earthers here have 10 fighters, a PDS, 2 dreadnoughts, 2 cruisers. But what are the Sardic going to move in there? Let's back the camera out. They're going to be bringing in units from all over space. Keeping in mind their yeah, let's just pile up the units. I think I'm going to put the units that are attacking this system in here. You can see that right in this hex because they're not going to fit here, obviously. So let me back the camera out. We're going to see what and how many units from the Sardic are moving in here. All right, I've backed the camera way out because there's going to be all kinds of excitement happening. All right, the Sardic have the gravity drive. And it says after you activate a system, apply +1 to the move value of one of your ships during this tactical action. They are going to apply that to their flagship, the Cormoran Noir, and this is coming into the system so it can move 1, 2. So again, I'm going to put everything in here. They're actually in this system, just for clarification, because I'm going to have to set up for rolling dice here somehow with space limitations. And they have now a capital ship limit of 7. So they can put 7 capital ships in this system. All right, they're going to move this dreadnought in here. It has a movement of 2. That's not a problem. They're going to move these 2 dreadnoughts have movement of 2. Hang on. Oh yes, movement of 2. Beta wormhole. How was I going to do this? I think they have another card. Yes, of course. Of course. They have another card, which is flank speed, which is what they're playing. After you activate a system, apply +1 to the move value of each ship during this tactical action. So each ship is going to get a +1 move. I do not believe the Federation of Sol has a sabotage card. They do not. Excellent. All right. Oh boy, trying to keep all the stuff straight. So we didn't actually have to use gravity drive for this one, because 1, 2, every ship gets a +1 movement. So yes, these dreadnoughts can move 3, 1, 2, 3 into the system, 1, 2, 3 into this system. So far they got their flagship 3 dreadnoughts. Oh man, they can have 7 ships in here. They're going to move this cruiser into the beta wormhole. That's 1, 2. It's going to come out here. It's going to come with the dreadnought and 4 fighters. Yeah, this is going to get absolutely silly for the amount of dice. This dreadnought going through beta wormhole, popping out in this beta wormhole. So far we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 capital ships and 1 more dreadnought, 1, 2 into here. All right, that kind of leaves them a little barren. Or do they want to do that? No, they're going to leave the dreadnought here. They're going to move this carrier in instead, 1, 2, and take these 2 fighters with them. All right. I do believe that's everything, and they're going to take these 2 ground forces with them as well, because they have a capacity of their carriers of 6 now, and yeah, so if they do manage to wipe out the space forces, they will try and bombard this planet. So I don't know, we're just going to see what happens. They are sending in basically pretty much everything they can. They've got their flagship, 4 dreadnoughts, 2 carriers, and it looks like 6 fighters. 1, 2, and 6 fighters with 2 ground forces as well. All right, I'm going to get the dice tray set up. We do have a PDS here for the Earth system. And so let me get set up, and we're going to have a massive dice fest battle going on here in the Quan system. That is pretty darn ugly. Okay, this is going to be a huge, huge space battle. But to start off, if we're looking at the order of things, we're moving ships. So the Sardic have moved all their ships. These are actually all in this one space where the battle's taking place. The first thing we do for space combat is anti-fighter barrage. Nobody has destroyers, so there'll be no anti-fighter barrage. Announce a retreat. And I think I'm missing the space cannon. Oh, space cannon offensive. So what happens is all the ships move in. The first thing we do is we have the space cannon on this planet for Federation of Sol. It's going to fire at all the incoming ships. It's going to hit on a 6+, and we roll a 10 for Federation of Sol. So we get 1 hit, but not so fast, say the Sardic, because they're playing a card. Maneuvering jets. Before you assign hits produced by another player's space cannon, cancel a hit. So that hit we used maneuvering jets for the Sardak. They don't take any hits, so they dodged the space cannon. So it's anti-fighter barrage not happening. Then we announce retreat. Is anyone going to retreat? No, they're not. This is a fight to the death. Now we're going to make combat rolls. So we're going to do the attacker first. Once again, we're going to use red dice for hits for the aggressor, attacker, and white for Federation of Soul, the defender. Wow, let's start getting into it. I'm going to have to, of course, count everything, turn the camera off, do some rolling, whatever. The attacker here has 6 fighters and 2 carriers. Now the Sardak, because they have their flagship with them, normally all their units get +1 to hit, but the flagship gives them +2 to hit. So they're going to be rolling 8 dice, 6 for the fighters, 2 for the carriers. Wow, 2, 4, 8 dice. And their carriers normally hit on a 9. They're going to hit on a 7. The fighters usually hit on a 9. They're going to hit on a 7. So they're going to roll 8 dice, hitting on a 7+. So what are they going to have here? And if I can see everything correctly, we got a 6. So we have an 8 and a 9. So 8 and 9 are the only 2 hits. So once again, I'm going to place them in here. So 2 hits for the carriers and the fighters. All right, that takes care of those ships. Yes, huge battle. Next up, they have 1, 2, 3, 4 dreadnoughts and their command flagship. Their dreadnought 2s are going to be hitting, instead of a 5, which is normal, they get +2. They're going to hit on a 3+, and their flagship would hit on a 6+, but it hits on a 5+, but rolls 2 dice. So let's do the dreadnoughts first. There's 4 of them. They're going to hit on a 3+. And they roll a 1, a 1, a 2, and a 7. Wow, that's pathetic. That was pathetic dreadnought rolling. So that's the way the dice crumble there. And now the flagship is going to hit. It rolls 2 dice, hitting on a 5+. See if they have better luck. They roll an 8 and a 1, so that's 1 more hit. So that's only a total of 4 hits for the Sardak. I'm going to have to tally up everything in the system here. I'm going to come right back. I'm going to be rolling dice for the defense for Federation of Soul. Okay, so Federation of Soul has 10 fighters and 2 carriers. That's a total of 12 dice, hitting on a 9+, because we don't have any other funky abilities. So 12 dice hitting on 9+. Let's hope they don't get clogged in the tower. And what do we get here? Let's get them down there. Oh my god. Now we got to look at this. So we got a 10, a 9 is 2 hits, 3 hits, another 9 is 4 hits. So that's 4 hits for our fighter swarm and our 2 carriers. That's 4 hits. Wow, that's pretty awesome. So we're going to do 4 hits for defense. Now we have also 2 dreadnoughts, and the human dreadnoughts hit on a 5. So we're going to roll 2 more dice for the dreadnoughts, get a 2 and a 2. So not much happening there. All right, so we have 4 hits for the attackers, 4 hits for the defense, and away we go. So what's going to happen? We have to take our lumps. So for the Sardak, they're going to damage all 4 of their dreadnoughts. 2, 3, if I can. Oh man, this is just brutal. 4, so all 4 of their dreadnoughts are damaged. Didn't lose any units. Likewise, Federation of Soul is going to damage their 2 dreadnoughts, and they're going to damage their 2 carriers. And they haven't lost any units yet either. So the opening barrage just damaged a whole pile of units. On to another round of combat. Is anybody going to retreat? No, they're not. Let me get set up again. We're going to be rolling a lot more dice. All right, once again, the Sardak are attacking. They have 6 fighters, 2 carriers. That means they're going to be rolling 8 dice, and they're hitting on 7s. All right, 8 dice hitting on 7s. Oh, they are rolling horribly. Well, maybe not. They got an 8, an 8, and a 9. So that's going to be 3 hits for their fighter, swarm, and carriers. All right, that's 3 hits. Now they have 4 dreadnoughts, And those dreadnoughts hit on 3s. And this time, that is all hits. 4 hits for the dreadnoughts. Wow. So another 4 hits is 7. This is more like it. Their flagship hits on a 5+ and rolls 2 dice. A 5 and a 9. 2 more hits. Wow. So that's 6. So that's a total of 9 hits this time for the aggressive and hostile bug race. All right, but of course, we are the humans. We get to defend. Let me gather the mountains of dice, and we're going to come right back and roll defense for Federation of Soul. All right, once again, we're going to be rolling 12 dice, 10 fighters, 2 carriers, 12 dice, hitting on 9s for defense. And what do we got here? 12 dice, hitting on 9s. Well, that's 1 hit, 2... Oh, 3 9s. Wow, nicely done. Oh, 4 9s. Did we just get 4 hits? And that's a 6, 8, 8. So that's 4 hits in defense. That was pretty awesome. Like that, as far as Federation of Sol goes. And now the Federation of Sol has the 2 damaged destroyers. Or, yeah, 2 damaged dreadnoughts, I should say. Hitting on 5s. A 4 and a 10. So that's going to be 1 more hit. All right, this time there will be casualties. So the Sardic dealt 9 damage, or 9 hits to Federation of Sol. Federation of Sol, 5 hits to the bugs. All right, so we're going to take the 5 hits from the bugs. They've got 4, they have 6 fighters, so they're going to lose 5 of their 6 fighters, which is not great. Actually, they're not going to lose 5 of their fighters. They're going to damage their flagship. That's 1 hit. And they're going to lose 4 fighters. All right. They want to have as much firepower as possible. So they still have 2 fighters left. And they have everything damaged that can be damaged. 9 hits now on the Earth forces. Oh, man. I guess every one of our capital ships is damaged, so they're 10 fighters. They're going to have to lose 9 of them. That is kind of painful. So they're going to lose 9 fighters. Ooh, that weakens their forces down quite a bit. We're going to be heading now into the next round of brutalness. All right, I can't forget we have 2 ground forces here for the bugs as well. All right, next round of combat coming right up. This time forces are quite depleted on both sides. The bugs have 2 fighters and 2 carriers. That's going to be 4 dice hitting on 7s. And they get 1 7. So that's going to be 1 hit. We'll take it. We'll take any hits we can get as the bugs. And now they have still 4 destroyers. I keep calling the destroyers dreadnoughts. 4 dreadnought 2s. These things are brutal. This is, they cannot be destroyed by, they can't be destroyed. Oh, I should show you the card. They can't be destroyed by direct hit cards. Okay, we know that. They also have another funky ability which says this unit, after a round of combat, you may destroy this unit to destroy up to 2 ships in that system. They're not going to, they may do that after a round of combat. They could have just destroyed a ship, gone on a suicide run, and taken out 2 of the forces here, but they decided to hang on to their ships instead of go on a suicide mission. They now have 4 dreadnoughts hitting on a 3+, and they hit with all 4 of them. Wow, that's going to take total hits up to 5. This is looking good. And they have their flagship, which rolls 2 dice, hitting on 5+, a 9 and a 4, total of 6 hits. Wow, the bugs hit hard. All right, it's defense time for Federation of Sol. We only have 1 fighter, 2 carriers, so that's only going to be 3 dice hitting on 9s. And we do get 1 9, so that's going to be 1 hit. That may not be sufficient. Wow, okay, and we have 2 dreadnoughts. So the 2 dreadnoughts are going to be rolling 5s to hit. A 10 and 8, we get 2 hits. Wow, that was nice and lucky for us. For a total of 3 hits. So we have to take 6 hits from the bugs, and we're going to deal 3 back. And so, what are we going to have happen? Well, we're going to have to lose our fighter. All of our ships are damaged. We only have 5 total. What it means is the bugs have decimated all of our sky forces in the planet, or in the skies above the planet, totally destroyed. They have won the battle for space so far, and now the bugs have to take 3 hits. They're going to take 2 from their fighters, 2 hits off their fighters, so they're gone, and 1 more hit. They're going to lose 1 carrier, and the 1 carrier had nothing with it. It had fighters with it, but it goes down in flames. We're not finished yet, because now it is going to be ground combat. All right, let me get semi-organized again, and I think I'm going to move these ships in the system now since they've taken over the space, and we're going to come right back and start the ground assault. Okay, this is going to be ugly because, oh my god, excuse me, because the bugs have 4 dreadnoughts. If we look at the invasion, we're going to start with bombardment. Now, we do have 6 ground forces for Federation of Sol, but they have 4 dreadnoughts, each rolling 2 dice for bombardment, hitting on 4+. So they're going to roll 8 dice, hitting on a 4+. 2, 4, 6, 8. So that's 8 dice hitting on a 4+. And I don't think these are other ships. Oh, ships combat rolls in the system. Is bombardment considered a combat roll? Oh man, I have to check the rules here because the flagship might give the bombardments +1. So instead of hitting on a 4+, they may hit on a 3+. So I got to check the rules here and come right back. All right, found it in the rule book on page 8 of the rules reference. Clearly states, game effects that re-roll, modify, or otherwise affect combat rolls do not affect bombardment rolls. So no, the flagship does not give the dreadnoughts that +1 bonus. So they're going to be hitting on 4+, 8 dice. Let's bombard the planet. And what do they get? Hitting on a 4+. Oh, good lord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. The 5 hits 7 hits. The 3 is a miss. So the bombardment of the bug bladder beasts of Trawl has destroyed 7 ground forces at that system. We only have 6 ground forces for Federation of Sol, which means this place has been destroyed of ground forces. The ground forces are toast, which means that the bug people, the Sardic, can land now unopposed. There are 2 ground forces in the system and take over this planet. And what happens to the PDS and the space dock there? They are destroyed. All right, Federation of Sol, you have been pounded into rubble. The Battle of Quan is over. The Sardic have taken it. All right, they're going to take that card, and they are going to add it to their tableau. And that just shifted the balance of power in the galaxy. So Quan has been taken over. It flips over to the other side. Off it goes to the tableau area. Oh my god, if we can fit it in here, of the Sardic. Wow, they are one nasty, brutal warrior race. Very good stuff. And that is the action for the Sardic. Wow, up next, Federation of Sol, but I have to check the time on this because that battle took quite a while, and see if we're going to keep going. I think we're going to do one more Federation of Sol, one more Arboric, and I think that's probably going to be the end of the episode for today. And in point of fact, we are at the 30-minute mark already, so I am going to end off the episode for today, which means when we come back in the next episode, we will have Federation of Sol going first, followed by the Arboric. I just don't want to have these videos turn into hour-long marathons. So, wow, that was a humongous battle here at Quan. The insect race have totally devastated the Earth forces, taking over the planet. They've left themselves a little skimpy, though, out in other areas of space. And if the plant people want to get a little bit antsy, they could probably dive in and do some damage. But we're going to find out what happens in, of course, the next episodes, because we're already past the time for this one. So thanks so much for watching along. This is Twilight Imperium 4th edition. The Federation of Soul just needs to somehow get 2 victory points at the end of this round to win. But the plants and insects are teaming up against Federation of Soul, I think, and the plants have built themselves a war sun. Oh, good lord. All right, thanks so much for watching along. Thanks for your comments, subscriptions, and likes. I hope I haven't messed up too many rules or messed up too many things in my playthrough so far. But this is just a demonstration of the length of the game, the complexity of the game, the fun stuff that can happen in the game. So I hope you're enjoying it. Twilight Imperium 4th edition. Join me next time for the continuation.